Hi, Kim Loy here, Kim Loy Studios, and in this video I'm going to do something slightly different. So normally on my YouTube channel I'm posting guidance about tips for growing your permanent makeup business or technique tips for mastering the hyperrealism style. But in this video I want to do something a bit different. I would like to start documenting what's going on in my business because I find that super valuable when I'm following other business owners that I admire, when they document their journey and tell me what's working, what's not working, so I can take inspiration and tips from that. And I believe the person who's going to watch this video and get value from it is anybody who's thinking about starting their own training business in their permanent makeup business. Because I'm going to tell you the lessons that I've learned from this last year of really scaling up my training side of my permanent makeup business. So I hope you find what I'm about to say valuable. I have no notes, so this is off the fly. It's just something I thought of that I wanted to do this morning when I was in the shower. Best time for ideas to come to me. So I just thought I'd come in here, jump on and start filming what's in my head. So I started my training business back in October 2023. I hired a business coach to help me do that, and it has been phenomenal. It has exponentially increased my business, the revenue in my business, but it has come with downsides as well, which I'll explain shortly. So let's just talk about what's gone on this past year. So since January, let's talk about the year because we're nearly year end now. So I'm filming this on the 27th of November, 2024. And so far this year, not including October 2023, so from January this year, the training side of my business, so I teach other permanent makeup artists, all complete beginners, how to firstly learn the hyperrealism technique, so machine hair strokes and realism style, and I also help them to grow their permanent makeup business as well. So I offer tips and guidance on how to do that using social media, email marketing, different strategies. Since January this year, having that training business has added an extra 126,000 euros, 126,000 euros extra revenue to my business this year so far, which is phenomenal because I still have my studio business, I still serve clients. That revenue does not include my studio business, that's just the training side. However, I'm about to do something radical and I'm about to strip it all down and try something new, which is crazy because it's been working. I've made a huge amount of revenue, but you know, it's the systems that I've set up for getting people into that business isn't working for me and my family. And let me explain. So on the front end of starting any training program, obviously there's a huge amount of work that goes into that because you have to create the content, you have to create the course, you build your platform. It's very content heavy. So the first part from October to December, I was super busy creating all the content. That's fine. That's unavoidable. If you're starting a training business, you will always have to do that. But from January onwards, once all the content was created, it's been about sales and getting people into that business. So that's been about outreach, Facebook ads, other marketing tactics to get people into my environment, my eco space, so I can nurture them into becoming a paying client. And the back end of that whole nurturing system is for them to book a sales call with me. And on that sales call, I would explain the program and then convert them into a paying client, a student to do the course. Now, the problem I'm finding I'm having with that system of sales calls, so let me explain, there's no other way at the moment for you to sign up to my programs. I don't have a website information about it. I don't have my prices anywhere. I don't have a buy now button. There's no other way for you to sign up for a course unless you get on a call with me and then I convert you on the call. And the reason the business world recommend that you do that is because it's easier. It's not easier, but it's a better way to encourage people to buy your course when they can speak to you about it. You can really get to the root of why they want to work with you. What problems are they having? How's that impacting them? And it's about having them understand that by working with you, with me, it will transform their business and fix the problems that they're having. And all that can be difficult to communicate on a web page, in like written text, which is why we have those sales calls. And the purpose of the sales calls is eventually you would ideally want to convert 30% or more of those calls that you're having, So if you're having, I don't want to work percentages out, but 30% of the calls that you have, you want to convert. Now that's become a bit of a problem for me. That's not fit with my family life over this past year, because for me to be able to, at the moment I convert about 20 to 30% of the calls that I have. So some weeks and months, I can spend hours and hours and hours having sales calls in a week and then not convert any. And for me, that's so painful, because that's like hours and hours of like phone calls that don't go anywhere. And when you're a studio, it's just me in my studio, I don't have a team, I'm primary carer for my child. That's a huge amount of time that I don't have to spare. And yes, on the back end, when I do make some sales, it's great, I make money and that's okay. But most of my clientele as well are based in the US. So they're East Coast or West Coast, which is like an 8-hour plus time zone difference for me. So the best time to have these sales calls for me here in the Netherlands, in Europe, is between 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. my time. That's when most people are going to be available in the US. 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. for me is the worst time to have sales calls, because I pick my daughter up from school at 3 p.m., on some days. And then, it's if you have young children, it's like, it's bath time, it's bedtime, it's dinner time, prepare dinner time, dinner with the family, bath time, bedtime, reading. That is a really busy time as a family. And that's time I want to spend with my family. I don't want to be giving her the iPad so I can be having sales calls. I don't want to be rushing her to bed so I can get on sales calls. I don't want to, be using, crappy food for dinner because I haven't had the time to prepare the dinner. So this past year has taught me that what's truly important to me, and what's truly important to me is having complete freedom of my calendar to spend with my family. The revenue has been great, but the workload to get that revenue has just had an impact on my family life. I spend a lot of time away from them, having calls, setting up calls, rearranging calls. It's too much. So I'm having a shift. I've decided that this year's been great. I've learned a lot. But actually, next year, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try and eliminate sales calls from my business completely, which is like radical, and I can't at this moment picture how it's going to work. I don't doubt that next year I will not exceed or get close to the revenue that I made this year. Next year, I fully expect my revenue to dip while I set up this new way of working. But you know what? That's okay. If I get to spend every night cooking healthy food for my family, having family dinners together, not rushing my daughter off the bed so I can jump on it, I am totally fine with that. That's more important to me than making a large amount of revenue. So next year, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try and build systems into my business where it's going to be more, people can buy whenever they want from me. They don't have to wait for a sales call, because that's another thing. Like the people I'm speaking to are like me. They're busy women. They're often mothers. They've got studio businesses. They don't have time to jump on a sales call with me either. No more than I have time to jump on a sales call with them. So it's very jarring. It just doesn't work for me or the people that I want to speak to. I want, Sally in Texas to be able to go online, watch loads of videos, listen to stuff that I've been talking about, read my content on my website, decide if it's right for her, and have a button where she can just buy, without, she can DM me, we can have, in our own time, voice notes together, responding to messages together. So there will still be communication. I will be there for anyone who wants to hear from me or send me a message, but not on a Zoom call at this time. You have to be there, otherwise, I'm sorry, you can't sign up to the program, because that's the only way. Just seems a bit wild to me now. So that's my shift for next year. It's going to be more call free, organic. You can sign up to the program whenever you want, when you're ready. Yes. So that's my biggest learning from this year. It's been great, but I'm going to make some shifts. So this is my first documentative video. I hope you found it helpful. I'm going to be publishing more of these, what I'm doing in my business, why I'm doing it, the thoughts around it. And so hopefully you'll find that helpful and you can take inspiration for your own business. All right, for now I'm going to sign off and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.